Well, good afternoon, Whisperers. How are you doing? Let the app get everybody notified to let them know that we're here for the after show. I'm telling you, I'm so excited over today's presentation because oh my goodness, it was really special. It was something that I am so excited that I was able to birth and even to have come into our space. Just letting the app know it notify because I was told that YouTube is notifying everyone. So I'm just making sure that we're even on our homepage as far as it goes with our Facebook group. So I want to make sure that's set up good. I see we're in here good. So look, let me get right into this because today was powerful. So good afternoon, everyone. Welcome into Whispers in a Bottle, Grown Talk Cocktail Fridays, the post show. I am Sonya LaRae. I'm a lifestyle relationship counselor, fashion psychologist, holistic health and wellness consultant, motivational speaker, but by far I'm always honored to say that I am the host of Whispers in a Bottle. We just came out of our session over on Blog Talk Radio. It was a pre recorded show, it was a special presentation. And we are live every Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at blogtalkradio.com/whispers in a bottle. And like I said, this presentation really was just dynamic. Welcome in. Happy Friday to you too. Hope that you enjoyed our pre-show. I have to tell you, if you was not a part of the pre-show, you missed a powerful discussion. If you wasn't a part of the main course, you missed another powerful discussion. And now that you're here for the dessert hour, is a powerful discussion. So, just to let you know, we're about to go in for this topic, and I'm so excited over it because this discussion originally took place on January 28th after listening to two very well known entertainers, TV personalities, Amy Robach and TJ Holmes. They were former hosts of Good Morning America, their second show. And I have to say, I enjoyed them. I always thought they were entertaining. And now, with everything that came out about their relationship, the first discussion was about releasing insecurities to allow love to flourish. Today was about navigating the maze of falling in love the wrong way. Whoo! Right there, you should have known it was going to be fire. So if you missed that discussion or for our pre-show, I want you to DM us the word over there on our Instagram page. And please make sure that you're following our Instagram page. DM us the word wisdom, and we will get you an invitation. And we'll also send you the link to that show so you can go and hear it. Pick up the master keys that was deposited in there. So, all these keys that we're going to tie in today will be with you, and you will be able to tap into them because I'm telling you, this show is powerful. And while you're at it, make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit the bell right here so you're notified each and every time that we go live. So, today was all about shifting into that space and place of allowing love to flourish, allowing us to remove certain elements and even navigating the roadways and highways of our heart. So, this afternoon's discussion, I really kind of wanted to lean in more so with regards to how entering a relationship after infidelity can be laden with guilt and worry. So, this afternoon, I kind of want us to understand the root cause of guilt and actively working to break the pattern. That this way we can pivot our thought processes, we can pivot our heart, and we can heal our heart so we can have those nourishing relationships. So, a lot of this came about because, like I said, I was listening to that discussion with Amy and TJ, and I told you it was so powerful that even I implemented a new way of working, even with my couples in couples therapy, is that when they have these big talks, like they have to have big talks, I tell them now that I want them to sit and have a recorder that is recording them. They can hit record on their phone, sit it off to the side, that they can go on and have this exchange and talk to each other. But then what that allows them to do is to go back, listen to it, and hear and really listen to hear if they were speaking into each other or speaking at each other. Because sometimes when we get to hear how we are interacting and have that exchange with one another, we get to really see how it's not a healthy exchange. So, the one thing that I want you to really pick up, and that we even laid into inside of the episodes from the pre show all the way into our show, was to have that self reflection and open communication. To even remove guilt, it requires that. Because sometimes when we enter these relationships, and I told you, we took our relationship from a situationship to a relationship, we shifting grounds, we moving surface, we doing a little bit of everything, because that entanglement that it was now is a situationship that now is going to flourish, hopefully, that we put in the work into a relationship. So it requires that we identify and acknowledge the guilt. Begin by engaging in honest self reflection to identify specific actions that led to this situation. And like I told you, even during the show, that sometimes it means that we have to acknowledge that we were in a place, in a space, that the relationship was no longer fulfilling us. But because of us not giving that space and place the due diligence of respect, because see, you took a vow, that respect, we kind of said, we were pulling apart. We didn't really give it the way that we should have spoken into it, of giving that dignity and respect to that mate, of saying, my feelings have shifted. I'm no longer in this space. I can't blossom with you. And I don't feel that I'm blossoming or helping you to be in a space of nurture and love. So it means that we have to be honest with those feelings so we can release that feeling of guilt. So if we feel that we have wronged the person, it, like I said, sometimes you got to man up and go back and apologize. But it doesn't mean that they have to accept that apology. It does not mean that it's going to be all forgiven, all well, and all good. It may mean that you at least have come over there, acknowledged that you have done them wrong, and that you are setting the pattern and the pathway of things to be harmonious, especially if you have children that are involved. And see, these two people, they have children on both sides of the table. She's a mom as well as he's a dad. And so, in turn, it's going to take that they have to foster that relationship with that ex. And they're going to have to acknowledge that, yes, it wasn't an ideal situation. It wasn't what I planned or wanted, but I should have been open enough to come to you. And that's that next element. That's that open communication with your partner now, the person that you are really moving into with. That means to have transparent conversations with them, share your feelings, express your remorse, and everything that may be going in there. Because remember, I told you, Amy said that, she was worried. She was worried that he wouldn't feel the same or he wasn't feeling the same about her. But sometimes that's in that place, in that space of insecurity, because you remember how they got together. It was not ideal. So there's some of that fear base in there. So you can't make a great souffle and have loud music and a drum set in the kitchen, because it will make that souffle fall. It's the same thing when we're repairing relationships. You can't have all that inner noise, which is the guilt that is riding, and all of the insecurities that are riding from it, to really help it to be able to nourish and to flourish and to blossom into what we want. So, in turn, it means that we have to commit to personal growth. We have to admit to rebuilding that trust. And sometimes that rebuilding of trust means that we have to rebuild trust in ourselves. Ooh, did you hear that? We got to rebuild trust in ourselves, because maybe we're afraid that we're in this relationship with this person And because I had the wandering eye, or because I didn't commit to the feeling that I maybe am going to do this again, am I somebody who is habitual at this practice? So it means that we even have to be willing to set personal development goals for ourselves so we can commit to rebuilding trust. It means that we have to set personal developmental goals so we can establish a pattern that is now going to be a healthy pattern. Nobody likes a ill-made garment. Imagine if someone who never had taken a sewing class in their life decided today that they were going to make you a dress that you were going to wear to a formal tomorrow. Imagine how that would be. It would be a disaster. So it's the same thing that we have to be willing to do. We have to start laying patterns, learning the different patterns to help us to have success. And this could include building better communication skills, working on our emotional intelligence, addressing underlying issues that contributed to the feelings that we had or the guilt that we are ridden with. So we have to willingly be willing to set and develop these goals. Because if not, it's just going to keep on till those feelings of guilt overweigh and outweigh the place in the space that love should be flourishing, the place in the space that should be removing the insecurities, the place in the space that there should now be the cultivation of that heart and that soil, as I tell you, that rich soil. So we need to be consistent, consistently speaking life over ourselves, consistently speaking the attributes of what we want to be with this person that we have now begun our relationship with. Because even though we had navigated a pathway to love in the wrong way, does not mean that we still have to commit to the pathway that is incorrect. That means that we can actually shift and get on the right path. That means that even some of the pavers that are there can be actually replaced with ones that are solid, not broken. So it means that we're going to do some work. And that work has to be introspective work as well as that outer work. And sometimes the deeper level of work that we do on ourselves will actually show us a pathway of how love really can blossom. Personally, for myself, I have to tell you all this. I'm a person that is really rooting for Amy and TJ. And anybody who's watching this and they want to tag them on this broadcast, please do, because this is the thing. In their life and on that life path, I don't think they set out to really hurt themselves nor anyone else. They fell in love with each other because they had qualities and they had different things in common that was stronger, a deep bond that they was building with each other that really kind of went past everything else. But the one thing that they really forgot is this: you were already in a relationship, but it did not mean that you could not have handled the relationship with more respect. And sometimes in hindsight, we get to see that. But that doesn't mean that you have to carry that as the scarlet letter upon your chest. It means that you are willing to do better and acknowledge and take accountability for your wrong. And to really do the things that are going to move you to really go into the direction of where you want to be. The other thing is that now that you all are going to build this relationship, let's say this is your story and you're building this relationship, I want you to really be able to see how setting clear boundaries with each other are going to be a benefit. Because, see, once you are in a place, in a space that you have come into this union that was not the best way, now it means that you will have to really set clear boundaries. Meaning that if there's a moment or a space in a place that you are not feeling secure, that you're honest enough with that mate and that partner to tell them how you feel, that they don't have to be Inspector Gadget or James Bond to figure out who and what you're feeling. No one is a mind reader and no one can read your true thoughts. I'm fine never is a good equation to put into a relationship when there is no quality of fine. Now, fake china is nice, it can be beautiful, but it doesn't have a value. Real china has a value. Real china also has a legacy. It comes from a family. So, in turn, you and this person are becoming that family. Will you put your family in a branding situation of being a high level brand, meaning like a real quality? Will you put it in a mid range where it's kind of mixed with a little high quality and mid range of things that are not low, not bargain basement? Or will you put it in the bargain basement where there's no value that is being placed in there? That there's no real content or sequence that really go together. That if you got a red shoe, you got a black shoe, but they don't match and they both are left shoes. How could you wear them? So it requires certain things of us. I must go over and watch some Amy and TJ. Yes. Matter of fact, I would encourage you all to go over and even listen to the Amy and TJ podcast and listen to those 2 episodes that I'm speaking about. It ain't right or it ain't good. It's one of the first, the one that is bringing this discussion to life and birth this discussion. I believe the title is that we ain't good or it ain't good, and then the follow up to it. And they spoke honestly into the episode, and I'm so grateful that they actually chose to share the episode with all of us because it opens up a different pathway of communication. It opens up a new way and technique of really listening to each other. See, listening is a skill. And one nice thing, both of them have that skill kind of solidified because of them being journalists. They are equipped to really listen and really to take in the information. And like I said, when Amy was speaking into her truth of feeling those insecurities and feeling that fear inside of her, that small voice that he spoke in of just, and it was so small and it was so pure. And he just said, oh babe, I'm sorry. And if you wasn't really listening, you might not have even caught it, but it was because it was in such a sincere space and such a genuine space. It really got to really resonate at a different volume and a different vibration. So I encourage you all to continue to talk to each other. Continue to remove those stigmas that are around how you got together. In our discussion over on Whispers and Wisdom app, literally that navigating the maze of falling in love the wrong way, I really leaned into a lot of the key elements that you need to be able to keep flourishing. I really kind of set into that space and place and spoke into that space to help you to see that even though it wasn't maybe the ideal situation, it can be a healthy relationship. So, I always tell you guys I honor time. I never like to keep you too long. And this is our post show. You're listening to Whispers in a Bottle, Grown Talk Cocktail Fridays, the post show, where we get to really kind of lean in, kick back a little bit, and enjoy ourselves in here. This is the dessert hour. We get to kind of really kind of digest that good meal we just had. And you know that I would love for you to join me every Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on our home network of blogtalkradio.com/whispers in a bottle. So with that being said, everyone, my name is Sonya LaRae. I'm a lifestyle relationship counselor, fashion psychologist, educator, holistic health and wellness consultant, and motivational speaker. I hope that you will also join our beautiful community of whisperers. Hold on a second. Let me go back over here. There's a question over here because I told you all I don't never like to leave you guys without answering whatever you put in. So the question here says, how do you work with relationship if you're being accused of infidelity? However, you never did. The accuser doesn't believe you and doesn't try to believe you. Years pass and the accusations continue. Okay, so this is the thing. A lot of times when people are accusatory or they have that accusatory factor, you have to ask where it is coming from. And now I'm going to tell you something that may even be a little shocking. A lot of times when people are constantly accusing that person of cheating, they're the cheaters. Or they've had cheating in their life and that history of cheating in their life pattern. And so in turn, they mirror those fears onto you. Your best thing is to lead with transparency. If the person is triggered because maybe you have your phone locked or it never rings, stop doing that. If the person feels that you are always sneaking away, what is wrong with you telling them, I'm going to such and such? So if they, this way they know. But a lot of times when people have these kind of constant situations and you have nothing but been true to them, it's not you, it's them. So then you need to do a hard look at this. Can your relationship survive in a constant bubble that is being placed under a magnifying glass that does not need to be there? Because, see, it adds stress to your life. It takes off years on your life as well. And if they're not willing to get professional help, then you have to ask, is this something that I can really continue on in this journey? I don't know if that answered your question or helped you with that, but that's how I would tell you to lead into it. Hmm, maybe they can be, yes, exactly. And that's the truth of the matter. So a lot of times when you're being accused of cheating, it's because that person is cheating or that person has had that factor of infidelity that they have dealt with in their past. Maybe they've cheated before, and so it's coming back around again and again. So I'm so glad I was able to help you with that. I'm so glad you got your question in prior to us getting ready to sign off. Thank you so much for always being here. Thank you for always pouring into the chat and everything. I'm always honored to be here. And like I said, I really can't have a successful show without any of you all. So I appreciate you always spending your life seconds with me. And listen, you have been on Whispers in a Bottle, Grown Talk Cocktail Fridays, the post show. I'm Sonya LaRae, a lifestyle relationship counselor, fashion psychologist, educator, holistic health and wellness consultant, and motivational speaker. And guys, I look forward to us being in our safe zone again next week at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over on blogtalkradio.com/whispers in a bottle. Don't forget, subscribe to our newsletter. It is beautiful. And there's a live link that's always in our description box. And there's always a live link in the comments. As a matter of fact, we even started so you can even have this into your ability to click on it. All right. All right, guys, take care. I'll talk to you soon.